and welcome to Drag Race TV LA's weekly recap of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2 and our extra special doubleheader episode recapping episodes 4 and 5. We have lots to discuss and we can't wait to hear your thoughts. So if you like to talk Drag Race, you've come to the right place. Hello. Welcome to Drag Race TV. We are back after a week off. I was a busy boy last weekend, so I couldn't be here.
Do you have news for us there, Marky J?
We'll save it for the end. We got to
make it till the end.
Make them sit through 2 episodes.
I've been waiting.
And I'm sure if some of them follow me on social media, they already know. So, and you can go, if you don't want to wait till the end, you can go peek at my social media. But we'll save it for the end, the official announcement. Thank you to Caesar, Literal Truth, and Luis Manuel Hernandez Elias for joining us in the chat. We love having you guys here. Hopefully Mr. Chucky Chuck and Hello Kitty will be joining us too, and some many more. Again, sorry we had to not be here last week, but you're going to get a double dose. I'm still uploading some photos, so I'm gonna be doing things as we're talking. So if I look distracted, it's because I am.
If I look like I'm about to pass out, I've been awake for 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we don't have engineers anymore. We have to do this from the comfort of our home, all by our lonesome. So I'm going to be downloading stuff as we're talking. Oh, Chucky Chuck is in the chat room. All right, fantastic.
God damn it, Maria Menendez, where are you when we need you?
I know, where are you, Maria, when I need you? Be sure, you guys, if you have not already, I'm sure most of you that are watching us live already have. But if you are watching this later, please be sure to go follow us on DRTV LA on all social media. We're also on Twitch. So if you don't like to watch on YouTube and you want to watch on Twitch, you can watch us there. We go live there also. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. Down in the corner, you can click on the logo and subscribe today. So we would love to have you here every week. Overall thoughts, Miss Magenta. Oh, we have 2 episodes. Overall thoughts on both episodes? Do you want to just do that?
Okay. Where does one begin with this season? Why is it when you have me on, it's on their worst seasons? First you have me on for Australia, and now you have me on for this fucking shit show. What a mess!
My diabolical plan, Magenta.
It's me. I'm cursing it all. Just like this wig, it's cursed.
Yeah.
Look. The girl group challenge was all right, but not for the UK. It would have been great on an American season, but not for the UK. We expect better from our girl groups.
Yeah.
And the Draglexa. Well, I'm glad the Detox's rubbish bin got to have a cameo all the way from season 5.
Oh, that's right. I knew that looked familiar.
But we'll get there. But like, even Rue's admitting that he's at fault, but yet, yeah, Rue, you are at fault. Time to focus on 1 or 2. Maybe give the franchise a bit of a snooze. If you've seen him on TikTok, he's looking a little bit his age.
Yeah.
Have you seen his new TikTok career?
No.
Oh God, you got to check it out.
I'm not on TikTok. I had
No, neither am I. I'm seeing them all on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Just Google it.
Original, yet she's doing the same shit. So Chucky Chuck, welcome back, has an opinion. He says RuPaul pissed me off saying the queens were original, yet she's been doing the same shit for 12 years, multiple shows. So yeah, I mean, here's what I'm going to say, because I do want to say something positive. there are multiple queens on this season that I truly adore. And I love seeing them. I think some of them are doing really well, even though the production is making it seem as if they're not doing well. So kudos to them. We'll obviously talk about who I'm talking about later as we go through this. You know, and I said this, I think I said this last week, Bang Bong is going to be very hard to top. So I think they were at a loss going into that episode just because, I mean, how are you going to do better than that? That being said, I mean, the power ballad, which, you know, okay, we're going to be spoiling episodes 2, by the way. So if you haven't watched these episodes 4 and 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK season 3, then you shouldn't
just
be watching this right now. Watch that first, then come back to us. But anyways,
stay with us.
Yeah. The ballad version, I didn't hate. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think like that they bombed at all. I actually thought they really deserved the win. Again, I think it was, you know, the nature of the beast because they were going up against such a, I mean, iconic thing, you know, of last season.
Enough, because I was just watching it right then, doing my face, so I wasn't looking at the TV whilst I was listening to it. And the first group wasn't as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't see Scarlett Hall like fumble up her bits, when you just listen to it, it's actually not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what they were missing? It was MNEK.
Yeah.
And you could really feel that. Like, that's, I think, what brought the other two alive was MNEK's energy and synergy and hotness.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll throw this up there too. Literal Truth is talking about the script. This episode 5, they had to do the Draglexa challenge. She's saying she was generally confused about why RuPaul was so pissed about all the ads when they were shit, but they were just as shit as every other season and still better than most scripted challenges. That we'll get more into that when we get to episode 5 because we're going to talk about.
They were all shit on the American seasons, but they've never been shit on the UK seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, where was Caesar also says, where was MNK? Yeah. There was rumor that he was going to be there, but then he wasn't. All right. So let me just remind everybody, because it's been a hot minute since we've been here. Let me just remind you what happened on episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Scarlett Harlot reigned supreme for both the mini challenge, where the queens had to create their profile video for the Find Her app, and the maxi challenge, where the queens had to make camping couture outfits for the runway. And season 2 standout Veronica Green, after spending too much time helping too much with others, didn't focus on her own garment, and she was surprisingly sent home by Vanity Milan. So that was episode 3. So now let's get into episode 4.
Ago,
What's that?
It was nearly a month ago.
Yeah, right, exactly. So the next day, the beginning of episode 4, which was the ending of the Veronica going home episode, it's really annoying me that everybody's going after River and like making these. It's like, because they all said that they thought that she should have been in the bottom 2 with her when she did the stewardess, like when they did the camping couture, she had that stewardess look, which I thought was fantastic. I thought it was really, really cute and well done. Not like it didn't look sloppy and thrown together like Veronica's did. And then Vanity goes after her, asking her what she's going to do to not be safe anymore. And then Scarlett asks her if she really wants to win. And I was just kind of like, I really felt like everybody was ganging up on her. Did you feel that?
I just think they were trying to make a story, babe. Honestly, I don't even think River was doing that bad. I think she is. I think Scarlett sees a threat because you just know that everyone's going to love River.
Yeah.
You've got to know when you're in that room who the audience is going to connect to. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting Roxy Andrews vibes with the whole, if I'm not on top, then I'm a loser.
Right.
as opposed to like, let's just have fun. Because let's face it, the ones that do the best are the ones that are there just having a kiki and having a good time.
Yeah.
They're the ones that get booked afterwards. They're the ones that everybody wants to work with. And they're the ones that make the show enjoyable. But I don't know, like, poor Love's tired. I don't blame her. I'm tired watching her.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if the queens are doing it because, like, I mean, I say this all the time, and I guess it's probably different when you're there filming.
Absolutely.
Because you really only have to go off of what Ru is saying. However, and this is something that I always say, is you still have your own opinions. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess just because I like River so much, and I think that she's very talented, and I think she's very funny. I think she's very genuine. I like her drag. Maybe it's not like Crystal Versace, you know, rhinestoned and blinged out and everything, but she still looks, the last couple runways have not been bad. Like, she's been really well. And she, you know, got a repeater badge for the last challenge. So it was just like, I just don't get, like, I guess I maybe want her also to kind of step up more and be like, shut up, I have a repeater badge.
And
I've won.
Shut up, bitch. Yeah. I can paint my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm finding with Scarlett? Like, and it's the same with Ella. And I think I know why it is that I'm not connecting to them, is they paint small.
Yeah.
They paint really small. And it's not, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't show on camera. It doesn't, I look, we all know I like big, but when I've got the big fierce on, I'm unstoppable. Like, you can't tell me I'm not great, even if I look busted as all shit.
Yeah,
because it's my armor. We've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's got enough armor on, and that it makes her shrink.
Yeah,
and that's how I'm finding Scarlett's going now. She painted the same face when she won her challenge. With the picnic dress.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's the same with Ella. Ella paints old. Like, bitch, you're 24. Like, unless you're going to do a Ben de la Creme or a Jinx Monsoon and have a purposely old character,
mm-hmm.
And that's not what she's doing. That's not what she's presenting. But for some reason, like that hair with the red hair that she wore. I think was it episode 4 or 5 that she wore that hair.
I don't.
We'll get there when we get to the runways. But I'm like, what 24-year-old is going to look hot in that thing that she had on her head? Yeah. So I don't know. They're my 2 critiques on there. I don't want to bash to the girls anymore. Look, Scarlett and I have had some lovely discourse on the interwebs this week. I've actually changed my mind on her a little bit.
Oh.
So I kind of have that thing now where it's like, oh, can't really say anything nasty because you're going through it, love. Yeah. But, we're here to critique, and it's nothing of hate. It's characters on this TV show.
Absolutely. Chat rooms agreeing some with my statement about River. And Georgina also says that River is very popular in the UK. People love her, and I have friends who have even bought her merchandise. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that, because I mean, she clearly is very talented. And again, you can't go by what this narrative on reality TV tells you, because we're just always, being misled.
Yeah.
So anywho.
Yeah. We'll get into it more when we get onto that particular. Are we going to go episode by episode, or are we just going to talk about that?
We'll do episode by episode. So,
I'll get to that.
Yeah, there was no mini challenge episode 4. The maxi challenge for episode 4 was forming 2 girl groups. Team captains were Scarlett and Vanity. Scarlett because she won the last challenge, right? Yes, because Scarlett won last challenge, and Vanity survived the lip sync, so they were the captains. So Scarlett picked Kitty, Charity, and Crystal, and Vanity picked Ella, River, and Choriza. Crystal was very surprised that she did not get chosen first. I guess I'm asking you, Magenta, and people in the chat, is anybody surprised that Crystal didn't get chosen first also? Because I was in my head going, Why? You struggled the last time there was one of these kind of challenges. Why would somebody pick you first? Were you surprised as she was?
I wouldn't have picked her in 1,000 years, but I know that Kitty can sing. Like, I know that Kitty's got that girl group vibe. Like, yeah. Oh, do you know what? It gave me Violet Chachki. It's like,
Yeah.
I've just won the last 2 challenges. Why are they not thinking I'm the best? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, she won the whole thing, but I'm very sober tonight. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I'm all over the shop.
And what do we have here? I'm not ignoring anybody, by the way. I'm doing multiple things, people. So sometimes I can't read every message. And if you guys all write at the same time, it goes by really quick on my end. So I'm not ignoring anybody. So if somebody thinks I'm ignoring them, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. Sometimes you just read the question again, because sometimes I've missed it because it scrolled by so fast. I don't have time to always go back and go through. So
it's all just love for me, Mark. It's all good.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Love you all too.
Well, Magenta's seeing it, so that's good. Even though I don't say it, doesn't mean she's not seeing it. Right, that's a good point too. I do forget sometimes that Crystal is a teenager. She literally is still a teenager.
She's literally a teenager.
She, GD loves your look.
Thanks, Speedy.
Rook, awesome. He's many chat rooms. He's awesome. I can't figure out why Mark seeks. I'm not ignoring anybody. Always the pretty shady girls, Violet, Valentina, Crystal, who act surprised when they are. Yeah, exactly. Because they think, again, because they've been watching the show and they think that pretty and thin and rhinestoned is
well, it's not just watching the show. They've just come straight out of high school.
Yeah, true.
Where pretty is currency in high school.
Yeah.
The rest of us old girls realise after a while that pretty doesn't last all that long. And you just got to do a little bit more to prove your worth.
Yeah. So they had to record the same song, which was titled BDE, standing for Big Drag Energy. But shaking it up, there were 2 versions, an upbeat pop mix and another mid-tempo power bottom mix. They were responsible for writing and recording a verse and styling the looks. Scarlett gets to listen to both versions and choose the one that her group gets to do. Did you like the twist? Like having the other version?
Yeah, I did, because we got 2 different songs, but equal playing field.
Yeah.
So like they still had the same themes going on. So I like that aspect. And to be honest, like which version would you have chosen?
I think I would have picked the ballad, to be honest.
Me too.
So I was actually, when I heard them both, I was, because obviously we didn't hear it until they were performed. But when I heard it, I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would have picked the ballad version too.
You can have more of a moment with a ballad.
Yeah.
That doesn't rely on a death drop and a split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys in the chat, write which one you, not which one of the performances you like better, but which version you liked better, the more up-tempo one or the ballad one. The only thing that somebody said that I kind of, that was Scarlett, she says, I'm guessing by the context of it, of what it means, but she said she was common as muck. Is that like common as shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my only slang that I was like, I just need to check with Magenta, make sure that it's
muck, mud. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
Okay. Maxi wallpaper, divas behind. Oh, she likes your diva wallpaper.
Oh, thank you. Most of them I painted myself.
Yay! Oh, that's great.
Some of them are just photos, and then there's me, my own photos. I got new ink for the computer.
So, that being said, about the 2 different groups, do you think a team had, and not just necessarily the song, but the casting, we'll say, do you think somebody had an advantage over the other on appearances?
No, because both groups had potential to be awesome. Yeah. Like the group that Scarlett picked on paper is a great looking group, but Myself personally, I would have picked Teresa. I would have picked Kitty Scott Claus, and I would have probably picked River. Like if I was in or Vanity, depending. Like Vanity was the picker. But yeah, I would have gone with the diverse group.
Yeah.
I know that Kitty, you know, is going to bring the thing. I know that Teresa is hilarious, and that's if you're going to do the ballad, that you want the funny girl in there still.
Right, right.
No, I think they're all talented at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's what you bring to your own challenge.
I mean, I wasn't surprised Charity got picked last because she messed up the last time as well on the group.
No, she got picked second last. She was picked over Teresa.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I guess Teresa also, she always talks about how she's not a dancer too, so she's kind of put that in the universe too. So I think that's also why people may not have. I'm with you. I would have picked Teresa just because I like Teresa.
I'm smart enough to know that the funny girl gets the win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's a girl group challenge like that, you can work with a Teresa. You can work, you know, like there are other ways to do a girl group that aren't just drop it like it's hot and we're dancing. Sugar Babes never danced a fucking step in their life.
Yeah.
And they were like one of the most successful.
Yeah. So what did you think of the group names? Their group names were Pick and Mix and Slice Girls.
I loved Pick and Mix, hated Slice Girls. I just thought, oh, that's all right. It's naff. I loved Pick and Mix, though. What would you have named your girl group?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what I would.
So there's this group here called Sugar Babes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you ever got the Sugar Babes over there or not. They were huge here. They were huge in Australia. So, like, there were three girls. I would have gone with either Sugar Tits or Sugar Bowls.
Okay.
And, yeah, Sugar Babes, they started off as a three, and then after the first album, they got a new girl in, and then another new girl. Like, they basically had a rotating roster for 7 albums.
Oh, wow.
And now they're finally back to the original group, but the original group had to go under a different name because they no longer owned their own. But anyway, it's a huge thing. Girl groups are huge in the UK and in Australia. So, yeah, I would have gone with Sugar Tits.
Okay. Well, they also got a visit, speaking of, well, not a girl group, but a group, they got a visit from Steps. H, Claire, Faye, and Lee showed up. I think it was Lisa was not there. She was in Dubai or something. H and Claire helped with the recording. Lee and Faye helped with the choreography. I liked Steps. I mean, we did get Steps here. We had a couple of their songs, probably not everything that you guys have. But actually, one of their songs was one of my opening numbers for one of my Lorayne Love shows back home in Ohio. I did Summer of Love. But what did you think of Steps? You probably adore Steps.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm not a Steps fan.
Okay.
I like the one they did with Michelle recently, the Heart in this City, whatever. My best friend though, my drag daughter Bernie DeCockster, shout out to Bernie, is obsessed with Steps though. So every house party that we have, the Steps are always put on the playlist, and that's when I walk into the kitchen and have a drink.
Yeah.
Out of the yeah, no, they're all right. They're fun. They're camp.
Chucky Chuck says he likes them, but he thought they were wasted. Chucky Chuck, tell me why you think they were wasted. I mean, I felt like they helped with the recording, they helped with the choreography, they came into the workroom. I feel like they got a lot of time, so I don't know what else. Maybe, I mean, let's not mince words. They're not choreographing their own steps. Pun intended. But
at least the dancer out of a lot of them.
Yeah, and I thought that they gave good advice and stuff. I mean, I don't know them. They gave good advice. I don't know that they were like profound, but at least they were there and he was able to give advice.
Yeah.
They
were there for the Gaga factor.
Say it again.
They were there for the Gaga factor.
Right.
Look who we've got this week. Look who's coming to the table tonight.
Yeah.
It's we're now hit that point of the UK where that's the road we're going down, I guess.
Yeah. I appreciate steps way more now than when I was a child, Georgina
Me
says.
too, Georgina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The latest stuff now that they're in their 40s is way better.
Yeah. When they were rehearsing, yeah, the choreography people didn't offer much. Although, they did, I thought they gave some good advice. I mean, they just didn't actually choreograph it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking soda. I shouldn't do that. So in the rehearsal, a couple things that stood out to me. I think I get okay. Again, I don't hate Charity. Let me just preface this by saying I don't hate Charity. I think Charity's problem is she can't see beyond Charity. And I get that you should be representing yourself. So I'm not saying she shouldn't be representing herself. But when you're coming into this girl group, what girl group sounds like Marilyn Manson? You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Huh?
The Sugar Babes did sometimes.
Well, but just when she came up to sing
you're
and was doing that gravel, and I was just, and I as soon as she started doing it, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And fortunately, they did tell her, "No, we're going to need to reel this in because it needs to be cohesive." And when it was all said and done, it didn't sound like that. It sounded really good. Literal truth. You like to come after me, don't you? She said, "So you're saying that you hate Charity?" No, I'm not saying that. I know you're just messing with me, but
doesn't love Charity,
right? And I love literal truth. So I don't know. I and she did it with the Draglexa too, which we'll get to more. But there was more of that stuff too, where I was just kind of like, "Girl, it can't all be you." I don't know. I also expected more of Ella. Am I the only one that was kind of shocked?
This whole time, all the thing that I thought Ella was this singing, dancing, freaking Broadway queen or something. I think she sounded the worst. The worst.
I just was I mean, I was literally, and I know nerves get to you and stuff like that, this and that, but at the same time, I was just completely floored. Completely floored. Ella was a lot of talk, and she didn't bring anything anything to back it up. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're doing a girl band challenge, unfortunately, you need a uniform and dress a leg, etc. You will be the yeah, exactly. That was part of the.
None of the Spice Girls dressed alike.
But it's because of how their theme is that they each have their own thing. But then you would need to really then here's the thing. It can't just be one. It can't just be Charity being the oddball.
Don't get me wrong, Charity, she didn't even paint well.
No.
A lot can be forgiven if your face is.
There's nothing you can tell me that those girls didn't have something in white or silver that somebody could have loaned her, or she makes things. There's a wall. Make a simple white dress. Yeah.
Crystal literally wore a complimentary outfit in the next episode.
Yeah.
Easily Crystal could have turned around and said, "Babe, just wear this. It goes with my mirror dress."
Yeah.
But each to their own. Or why couldn't somebody else have popped on a bit of blue? It's not that her outfit was bad. It was just nobody else brought a different color in either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody could have gone, "Oh, well, I've got a blue dress over here, love. Let's go put that on, eh?"
Yeah.
I'll go wear this big.
Let's each do. I'll do white. You do blue. You do yellow. You do.
Yep.
Make it so that it looks but just to have one standing out just didn't make sense.
I don't think it was her outfit that made her stand out, because there were white bits in the outfit. I think it was, the Poundland black lippy, black mascara, smudged eyes, absolutely no detail in the face, and that hideous, hideous wig that is my inspiration for tonight. Let's find my hideous black wig, and there we go. There's my little tip of the hat. But at the same time, she's not even to blame for why that challenge failed.
Yeah.
Scarlett fucked him up.
Yeah. Japple says in the chat, Crystal was not about to give that bitch her outfit.
But why did no one in the judging panel call out the rest of the girls and say, hey, you're all a group. Did none of you else think to help the bitch?
Yeah.
It's a group
exactly.
challenge. You know?
Again, it's...
I didn't have blue. Did anybody have any white that they could have loaned her?
Well, again, she makes her costumes. She could have put together something simple off of that wall.
But when you're recording the song, you're learning the choreography. It's the one challenge where you don't have the time to make something, really.
Well, but you got to make it work. I
agree. I think she made it work to the best of what she had. Except, had she just pulled together a better look on the face and the hair, that outfit wouldn't have been the issue.
Yeah.
They made that outfit the issue because of that.
Yeah.
Like, that blue outfit easily stood out. And they made a point in the workroom to point out going, right, has everybody got a piece of blue? Everyone's got a piece of blue. Right, we've all got a piece of blue, so we're tied in together. Like, when I just rewatched it, they made that point.
Yeah.
So it was there.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Anyway.
I agree. Also, I just want to point out, because I don't want to only point out negative things, but I just want to point out that our girl River and our girl Teresa nailed this challenge. They nailed the recording. They nailed the lyrics. They both looked amazing. So since the show doesn't want to talk about it, we're going to talk about it.
Teresa, I came for the chance from Spain to UK. It doesn't rhyme. She didn't nail it, but she sold it.
Exactly.
All she had to say, this is my time. This is the day I came here from Spain all the way to UK. Like, it was an easy fix. But once again, none of the girls decided to kind of help her kind of fix that little bit. The Spanish bit was the best part, though.
Yeah. And it was also River's idea in that group to play for the choreography, to play up on the stereotypes of choreography from ballads, which is what they ended up doing and ended up being like the best part of their number. That was River. That was River that came up with that idea.
It was genius.
For the record. So
it was bringing me back to Shakira.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the runway. A Night of 1,000 Spice Girls. They had a guest judge, Emma Bunton, and it was Michelle Allen Carr and RuPaul. All right, so first up is Crystal Versace. Let me grab her Spice Girls outfit. Crystal 1, there it is. Let's throw it up there for you. She was dressed as Baby Spice in the blue jacket with the fur and the ponytails. Your thoughts?
It's the one time I wish the posh bitch actually went and did posh. It was a missed opportunity. No one did posh, and maybe there was a reason for that because posh isn't back in the band. But like, if there was ever going to be someone that could have killed posh, it was her.
Yeah.
Like, you've already got 2 other babies, hun. Like,
yeah. Welcome, Bader. Bader is here from Bahrain, joining us live.
Hi, Bader.
Thank you, Bader. We're happy to have you here. I didn't hate it, but I also like.
The look was fab.
I thought it was good. It's Crystal, so she's going to look put together and stuff. So it was. Was I gobsmacked, jaw dropped? No.
Something about the proportions didn't look right to me, though. Like, when Baby has, she had that shape to her. She had that lovely softness, but still, still gorgeous and slim. But she had that softness, and the 19-year-old doesn't have the softness. She's all hard. She should have been posh.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Literal Truth. Literal Truth's killing me. She said, Mark has vowed to never give to charity again in his life. That's how much he hates charity. That is not true, Literal Truth. Yes, Georgina Lewis also says she was gutted that nobody did posh as well. What's so funny is when they said 9,000, my first thought was posh. I would have done posh in a heartbeat. I wouldn't have missed an opportunity to do that. So Next
Probably.
up
I
is
think
Charity
it's safe to
Kay.
say everybody knows I would have done Ginger.
Yeah.
I love it.
What did you think of Charity's?
I
Scary
loved
Spice.
it.
Okay.
And I would have loved it on any other runway.
Yeah.
At least have a mane coming out from behind the hat, wear the hat and whatnot, do all that. But Mel B was all about the hair.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone, get the hair going.
Yeah, agree. And Chuck just took the words right out of my mouth. I love the look, but it was not Spice Girls.
I'm starting to feel like, and as much as I do love Charity, is she a drag queen or is she a cosplay artist?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's good. Caesar also says he liked the look, like you just said, but it's not the assignment.
Yeah, it was like the last 2 weeks in particular. I'm like, but she has done drag looks, but the Goblin wasn't well, we'll get to the Goblin, but that wasn't drag. This wasn't drag. This to me was cosplay. It was costume party.
Yeah.
And I love cosplay, by the way, people. So don't come for me, anyone who's a cosplayer.
It's good at drag and good at Drag Race. Then there's the same thing. Joe Black and Charity are examples of that. The drag is great, but not necessarily for Drag Race. Exactly. Who is this? A BK teacher, retired. As has been said before, there's good at drag and good at Drag Race. There's not the same thing. Joe Black and Charity are examples of that. Their drag is great, but not necessarily for Drag Race. I think that could not be said better. Thank you, BK.
For Dragula. But Dragula is not in the UK yet.
Yeah.
And so, this over this side of the world, though, this is our drag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not pageant. That's not where our drag culture comes from, either in Australia or in the UK. It does come from cabaret, and it does come from pantomime, and that's a huge part of our culture with drag. So, to a lesser extent, it's like, at what point? And I know this is Drag Race, and it's RuPaul's Drag Race. This is where I'm starting to go, right, but now it's time to just make a Drag Race and cut out the RuPaul of it all and allow us in other cultures to show you guys what we do best.
We do. Right. Exactly. I agree. Bader in Bahrain says, it did not fit the challenge as amazing as the work is. And I agree with that as well. I think we all kind of agree with that with Charity. Next up is Kitty Scott Claus.
Loved it. Perfection. Loved it. Everything about it. Perfect. She understood the assignment. And if it wasn't judged by 4 people getting a repeater badge, she should have won the whole episode.
Next up, I echo that, so I'm not even going to go on. Next up is Ella Vidae, and she did Sporty Spice.
Do you see what I mean about how she paints?
Oh, you're never going to get an argument with me about that.
I just need some definition going on there. I need some contouring. I need some, drag shouldn't be about painting what's already on your face. It should be about creating what's not there already.
Right.
In my opinion.
Well, and I say this a lot too, because I did this. I'm not going to lie. When I started doing drag, because you're younger and you have this beautiful complexion and these nice cheekbones and stuff, when you add the stuff just a little bit, it really makes it pop, but it's not taking it to that next level. And it's taking me many years to realize that. And because I'm getting older, it's like pushing myself to do more and more and try new things. I agree with you 1,000%. I didn't even necessarily love the outfit. It looked a little weird to me. I don't know. Like,
at least it screamed the assignment, though.
Yeah.
And that was at least she made it a dress.
Yeah. Ish.
Sporty Spice was a butch man. That's the point, Chucky. Jesus.
All right.
I totally got sporty out of it.
Yeah. Next up is Miss River Medway. Let me grab her photo real quick. She did Ginger Spice from the tour.
Okay, do you know what? The shoes are wrong though, and the pants should have been black.
It was just a little off Waist up, I think the waist down, I didn't like it.
Yeah, waist up was perfection.
Yeah,
It,
just
you know what?
the shorts needed to be like short shorts. I feel like they needed to be a little bit shorter, also.
Yeah, or it could have even just been a swimsuit cut leotard.
Yeah, Chucky Chuck literally just said exactly what I said. From the waist up, good. From the waist down, lovely.
The shoes were terrible, though. Taken from somebody who lived through the Spice Girls, who owned every pair that you could think of of the platform heel. Oh, they hurt me.
Yeah. Next up is Miss Vanity Milan. She did she did Scary Spice. It was a leopard pantsuit with the black corset, and she did the little buns in her hair.
Would have looked great at your local Halloween house party. But there was no elevation to it.
Yeah. I agree. It was okay. Like I wasn't fine. I wasn't blown away, and I wasn't like, oh, that's horrible. I was kind of in the middle. Next up for what did I do with it? Did I number it wrong?
Am I frozen there for you? Because you're completely frozen on my end.
Oh, am I? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. I just can't the visual.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see you, everybody fine. Everything seems to be working on my end. Am I still frozen?
No, you're fine now. You're good.
Okay, good. I don't know where Scarlett's look is. Let me go to the next one. Theresa May.
On this as well. It did look like it was just a little bit too big, and so she did the old drag trick of shove a corset on it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's what we do, kids.
Theresa May did Ginger Spice.
Great interpretation.
I thought it was the best Theresa's looked, personally. Yeah. I thought she just looked phenomenal. She was killer. I can quickly grab. I don't know. I swore I did Scarlett's, so maybe I named it something differently. But I'm going to grab Scarlett's right now. You guys in the chat, tell us who was your favorite for this runway. Curious to see of the Spice Girls looks, who you guys liked the best. Who did you like? I'm going to still put up Scarlett's because we haven't talked about it yet, but
do we have to look at it again?
Can you, Magenta, of all the Spice Girl looks, who do you think was your favorite?
Well, I'm always going to be Team Ginger, so it's going to be Theresa. For the Spice Girl of the assignment, Theresa May has.
Okay.
Sorry. Kitty was great too. Sorry. Yeah, I was just never a baby fan. So. Yeah, Kitty's was amazing. Like
we're getting a couple Ginger or Theresa's for Ginger, and we're getting a Kitty in the chat. I would agree with both of those. I think those were probably the top two. Even though Crystal's was good, to me it wasn't, phenomenal. So, I think it's still my downs. Okay, so here's Scarlett's look as a reminder. She did the green. She did Scary Spice as well with the leopard jacket. I'm assuming, is this something from a tour?
No, it's from the Two Become One music video, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't like that. I think you said it too about her makeup. Her eyebrows needed to be darker because it looked like she had no eyebrows.
She has no lips. She has no brows. She has no.
She just needs more. She just needs more. I just want what I wish. I know Raven's already been in the room, but I wish they had more of a moment with her, or maybe like even have it be a makeup challenge. Like have them come out and say, like the challenge be, you can wear whatever you want, but your makeup has to be different from what you normally do or something. And then have Raven come in and spend some time in there with each of them and go over their makeup and just say, hey, you really need to do this. You need to do this, blah, blah. This is a good point. Caesar says, oh, that's not Caesar's. Scarlett gave me more Peg Bundy than Scary Spice. They're not painting for drag this season. They're doing Natural Woman, is what Chucky Chuck says as well. So, yeah. You know, on paper, I loved the idea of a night of 1,000 Spice Girls, but then when it came down to it, I was kind of like,
meh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of okay. And then again, we said to the actual girl group challenge was also kind of, you know, mediocre. So anywho. All right. So moving right along, since we have another episode. So the winning group was Pick and Mix, which we've already kind of talked about. And Slice Girls group. So they won and got to leave the stage, and the Slice Girls, who were in the bottom, ended up getting critiqued. And it ended up being Charity and Scarlett from the losing team, who ended up in the bottom two. They had to lip sync to "Who Do You Think You Are" by the Spice Girls. Thoughts? It was a double save. So your thoughts overall of them being in the bottom two and the double save? Did you think it should have went one way or the other?
I need a fan. I need a shade fan. There was one clear winner, even though you hate her. There was one clear winner in that lip sync of your life, and wasn't a double save worthy. That was the most pointless double save I've ever seen in my life. And who do you think you are, RuPaul?
I see what you did there. I knew that there was. I figured there was going to be a double save because of Victoria going home.
But it didn't need to be this episode.
Yeah, I was a little surprised as well. I mean, I personally thought that Scarlett really killed it. And
she turned her back to the stage. She took out a feather or whatever it was. She took out the tissue. She stopped lip syncing. And then she patted Charity on the head, saying, "Good girl, you're killing this."
Explain it.
She gave up
in the next episode. I don't know. To me, again, and this is what I always look for too, because I always want them to be emoting the song. And I felt like the moments, besides that moment, I felt like Scarlett's performance fit the song. I felt like Charity was just throwing herself around and doing Charity type things to try to stay safe. And that's my opinion. But it wasn't a moment where I was kind of like, yay, they both got saved. That was awesome. Da, da, da. Georgina agrees with you. She says that Charity won and Scarlett was awful. I know I'm probably alone in this.
I agree. Veronica should be
cheers from the judges. It's okay. You're not alone, Bader. I'm sure that other people do agree with you on that moment. I think she, it's in those moments where they start to really feel like that this isn't like just a reality show anymore, like that they're gotta, really step their game up. And I think that was that moment for her. Scarlett was more in the Spice ABBA than the Spice Girls. She should have sent home for that and the lip sync, is what Georgina says. Veronica should have been saved from last week. Who said that?
That was a better lip sync than this one. That was a more, worthy of a double save than this one was.
It was home, and they have a certain number. Yes, exactly. They was. Oh, thank you, Bader. Bader does at least see somebody agrees with me.
He's the same one that liked the tears. Yeah, he's the same one that liked the tears, Mark.
Hey,
well, we all know I'd be the villain of the season. We know this.
Right. I'm going to stop listening and turn it back from the judges. I agree. I don't know. It didn't. I guess I just didn't really. I mean, I get what you're talking about. I like it makes sense to me, but it didn't bother me. Like it didn't seem to me like she was intentionally stopping because she didn't know the words. Like I felt like she was trying to do a shtick.
You have $1 to throw, and those are the two performers. Who are you throwing your dollar to? Put it that way.
Well, again, I felt like Charity was, I felt like Charity was just kind of running around being Charity. Like I didn't feel like she was. I like them to emote the song. This is a song that you're performing.
How do you emote to groove it, shake it, bring it, make it? Who do you think you are? Like, come on.
But I definitely thought that Scarlett was doing that. I really felt like she was.
Let's agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm giving my dollar to charity because I care about charity,
and that's what drag is about. You give to who the one you like. All right, so let's get into. There was one kind of mirror moment on episode 4. It was a little bit more. River kind of opened up more about her mom and losing her, and that she was just saying that she really hoped that other people who watch the show who have lost a mother or someone very close to them can see that you can move on and and do things. Losing a parent is never easy. I mean, I lost my dad when I was only 25. So it was funny because I was just thinking the other day, in a couple years, I will have now lived more without a father than I have with a father.
Crazy.
And that was kind of like a real like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, because he was there for all this time. So I like these moments. I think the reason why we started doing these at AfterBuzz, these mirror moments, because I do think these kind of things don't get talked about enough on the show because we all focus on the drama and stuff. But I do think it's moments like this and moments like River's lyrics, like H was saying from Steps, like this is really going to help somebody. And that's what drag is to me. Helping people's problems go away, just removing you from the craziness of the world and be entertaining. And I feel like my love goes out to River and her family because I can't even imagine. But she's making her mother proud. I can honestly say that. Little Truth is saying, I can't even imagine being on Drag Race the same year my mom died. When mine died, I was basically destroyed for 2 years. Yeah. So again, I wish there was more of that kind of stuff. All right. So my quote of the week for episode 4, and I did see, I think Georgina, I think you put this in the chat, and I did not read it out loud because I knew it was my quote of the week. But my quote of the week this week goes to Alan Carr when he says, because that's the irony, isn't it? Oh, I couldn't find anything to look like I was in a girl group, yet I can look like a 6-foot tiger. You managed to wrestle that up.
Because he brought it with him.
That was my. Yeah,
well, they brought it with them.
Yeah. Jappel's rooting for River to win. I would love to see River win. I don't see that only because you can tell that the show doesn't really give her a lot of love. So, but I would totally be down for that, Jacque. Totally be down for that. All right, that was episode 4. Let's get into episode 5. We're plugging along here. All right, episode 5. After elimination, Charity and Kitty are now the only 2 queens without a repeater badge. Thoughts on that? Are you surprised that it's Charity and Kitty that do not have them?
I'm surprised Kitty doesn't have one.
Yeah. I think she was surprised with the girl group. She even makes a comment that if they weren't judged as a group, as individuals, I think she would have been in the top. I don't know that she would have won, but I think she would have definitely been in the top.
Chucky.
I just read that too. We'll go skip episode 5. I mean, Chucky, we can disconnect. We can disconnect and let you go back to your pizza rolls if you want, Chucky Chuck.
Oh,
you just tell us if you want us to shut the hell up. Yeah, Crystal's. I agree. Who's this? Japple. I think it's Crystal's to lose. You could just tell that they want. It's. I feel like it's very much.
I think she's starting to get that Michelle edit of the. I'm bored of her.
Yeah.
In the last two episodes,
I'll just say I won't be surprised if she's the winner.
Because now they're all saying, "Oh, I'm just expecting that of her." Oh, so I'm bored.
All right, Chucky's changing his mind. He says he loves listening to us. I knew you'd see it our way. All right, so episode 5, we're not going to skip. We're going to talk about it. Mini challenge was RuPaul's dog race. They had to pair up with their best bitch in the competition. When they first said it, because of last season, and I did say this when we recapped it, I think it might be one of my all-time favorite challenges that they did, when they made them pair up with their besties and then they pitted them against each other, which I thought was genius. I still have PTSD from that. So when they said to pair up, I was like, no, don't pair up with somebody you like.
The producer brain in me automatically said the same thing. If this was me, I would go for somebody that I can tolerate.
Yeah. When they were picking their best bitch, Charity kind of like really disses Scarlett and like is like, no, I want to go with Kitty, and like moves away, and Scarlett kind of takes it personally.
You know what Charity did right there? She created Scarlett's evil villain origin story.
Yeah, totally. Because
now you can see Scarlett is out for blood.
Yeah. It's like the marbles on Squid Game, right, Japple? Exactly. Yeah. So the pairs ended up being Teresa and River, my dream pairing. Kitty and Charity, Ella and Vanity, and Scarlett and Crystal. They had to hit the obstacle course as Dog and Dawn Handler to do best in show. Go ahead. Your thoughts on the mini challenge?
Look, it was just fun. It was just silly camp fun, and that's what I tune in to the show for.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Just stupid shit.
I know sometimes we talk about, some of these don't really kind of like, why on a drag race show? Did that bother you at all?
Which what?
That it's not like kind of drag related in a sense. You know, some people don't like when the mini challenges and stuff don't kind of have anything to do with drag. Did it bother you that it didn't really have anything to do with drag?
What does Draglexa have to do with drag?
True.
What does the bulk of this show have to do with drag after time? No, this show is for entertainment purposes. If they were going to do drag, what they need to be doing is, how quickly can I get your bloody well pants down into the glory hole in 30 seconds or less?
Yeah.
Or how quickly can I pack an overnight bag? You know, that's the real drag challenge.
Yeah, I would like that, packing the drag bag. See, because Chuck's saying that the mini challenge didn't fit the maxi challenge. Because sometimes they do. Sometimes they connect. Sometimes they make a thing. I definitely felt like let's just have a fun mini challenge more than anything.
Fun. Let's just have fun again. That's what I love Drag Race, is when it's I was about to say irrelevant, not irrelevant, irreverent.
Yeah.
And just campy and just stupid.
Yeah.
All
right. Oh, sorry. I need to switch over to my outline. So Scarlett and Crystal ended up winning the mini challenge.
Here's a mini challenge. Doing your makeup in the freaking dressing room when the lights have gone out and you've only got the flicking fluorescent.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got the dripping water tap behind you, and you're actually in the back of some sort of like utility closet. Yeah. And you want to put a handheld mirror. That's a drag race challenge.
Get dressed in a bathroom stall. Exactly. With no mirror. Yeah. So the maxi challenge was to promote and personalize a new in-home smart assistant called the Draglexa. And as winners of the mini challenge, Scarlett and Crystal were team captains. Scarlett chose Kitty, Teresa, and Ella, and Crystal chose River, Vanity, and Charity. Just looking at the teams and knowing the challenge, do you think that somebody had an advantage or disadvantage?
Like I said, all these queens are great. I think that anytime you think someone's at a disadvantage, it's when they're going to pull themselves up and they're going to get the underdog storyline. So I'd want to be an underdog at all times in this show.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Now, only thing that really I wrote down for as they were preparing for the challenge and stuff, only thing I really wrote down is I didn't really notice it before, but I'm really starting to notice it now. Do you think, and you guys in the chat as well, with the damn workout challenge, and that was, I think Draglexa was one of the worst challenges ever. BK Teacher says, I don't know why the judges expected more garbage in, garbage out. How do you really feel, BK Teacher?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't hate the idea of it. Again, you're asking people who don't, I mean, people who come up with these commercials and stuff are trained in advertising, like, and knowing how to do this stuff. These are drag queens who don't do this kind of stuff. So I think when there are really good ones, it's kind of like a miracle. Like it just really, like their chaos makes sense and it's funny. I mean, I don't know that I was expecting brilliance anyway. And somebody said it earlier, I don't know that it was any worse than anything else that we normally see.
Yeah.
No,
definitely. I've seen much worse.
Yeah. Like any of them. I don't think the concept for Draglexa was explained well to the queens, as Rue didn't like any of them. Well, and she does say, it's my fault. I didn't look at your storyboards.
But none of you win.
Which I actually appreciate that she pointed out the fact that, she took some responsibility for not getting in more involved. Caesar says, going into the Draglexa challenge, I had low expectations, but boy, did they manage to be worse than I could possibly think.
I'll say this, the episode was good, but the challenge was shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and Luis Manuel Hernandez Elias says maybe they sucked because they were rushed them, like Willem said.
Exactly.
But we did talk about, I think we did talk about this. There was a follow-up to that. Willem, I guess, did go back on Drag Racers and say that it was not every episode. There were some episodes.
Done in 10 days.
Yeah, that it was definitely done in less time, but she did correct herself. So I don't know that that's the case, but thank you for bringing that up because I meant to say that earlier. So here's what I was going to say. You guys in the chat and you, Magenta, do you think Crystal was being strategic in stepping out of the director's role and letting Charity do it? Or do you think that was just happenstance?
I just think she was overwhelmed.
But to be honest, she was planning it. Do you think she said to herself, I'm going to step back because whoever takes charge tends to be in the bottom? Or do you think... Maybe. I'm starting to think that that's her strategy, is to kind of like do her thing, but let other people kind of take control and kind of crash and burn.
Yeah, but that will only take you so far in the competition, because it's like, I hate to bring Trump into anything, but it's like The Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
You don't step up eventually. It looks like, well, when are you going to step there far up? Like you got to... Yeah. If you are confident enough within yourself, that's not going to phase you.
Yeah.
And if you're a team player, like Bianca would never be scared of that sort of stuff. She'd just go, right, cool, let's get the job done. But that comes with experience.
Yeah. Chucky Chuck says, I think she had no idea how to even get the ball rolling on this. However, if she is a team captain, shouldn't have been in the bottom, despite the queen saying others. That's a good point. Because you definitely could have said, well, no, you weren't the worst, but you also were the captain, and you forego taking the responsibility and trying to make it something good, allowed this person to kind of take you guys down a path that you
Well,
didn't
then,
even want to be on.
in that case, can't you just blame Michelle for being a shit director?
Well,
can't you blame Ru for being
I'm not even going to get into that because
You know what I mean? Like, what direction were they given to control a team? At least when you've got a team project that you're working on, you're going to have somebody basically saying, here is your brief. All they were told is, here's a talking humidifier that we've stuck eyelashes onto and lips. And we're calling it a Draglexa.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Chucky. She's a captain who didn't lead the team. I agree with that. Again, dick in the soup. They're going to give the narrative that they want to give for the show purposes.
Yeah. If anything, she's in the bottom because she was the worst. She looked the worst. Her outfit was terrible. She wasn't put together. And that's why she lip-synced for her life.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the runway for episode 5. The category is X-Penny Henny. And guest judge was Leanne Pinna from Little Mix. And then it was Michelle, Alan Carr again, and RuPaul.
Poor Leanne Pinna. She really needed a win this week with the whole Jessie Nelson bullshit. And this is the episode that she gets slumped with. Oh, I felt for her, the poor love.
All right, first up is Ella Vidae. Your thoughts?
What is that hair? What is it? What is she doing? That doesn't
like
say
any of it.
Nothing. It would look. Do you know what? It would look beautiful on Chad Michaels.
I love the dress. I hate the hair.
I hate the hair. I hate the makeup. You know.
I mean, I'm not even going to comment on her makeup anymore because she's obviously
I know, but it's the whole package.
Yeah, Chucky Chuck says he neck down. The wig looked like, honestly, it looked like one of those packaged updos that you buy that's actually the wig is made into an updo. It looked like she put that on with, and I was just like, really? Like, that's
it looks
the wig?
Yeah. James Mansfield gets us the before she does the new style to it.
I wanted like a little short pixie or even like a sleek black straight something with a pompadour or something. Like, I don't know. I just did not.
Yeah.
I loved the dress. I just couldn't do the hair.
Yeah, but the dress is age appropriate for you. It's not age appropriate for her. If she's not going to go for that.
Did you just call me old, bitch?
No, I said it's age appropriate.
Don't make me come through the screen, girl. No, I understood you. I was just messing with you. I really liked it. I don't know. I really liked it. And she's 30-something years old too. So I mean,
she's 30-something.
Yeah.
I thought she was in the younguns club. Sorry, that's
she's in her 30s. She's in her
30s.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s.
She's 32 or 36, somewhere in there. I don't remember. My ages are off of. I had him on the thing and I took him off. Did she call you? I know, right, Chapel? She called me
neck down, low. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, it's beautiful from the neck down.
Such a shitty category. Literally. Literally says such a shitty category. Quote: Today we're going to judge you on how much money you had to spend on drag.
Yep. Ain't that the goddamn truth?
Oh, literal truth. When you're in Los Angeles, please.
In the middle of a pandemic, when none of you are working.
Yeah, you need to go have drinks. You make me laugh. All right, next up is Scarlet Harlot.
I loved this. I absolutely loved that out. Like
my jaw. That is 1000% Lorraine Love. When she came around in that, I was like, shut the front door. And then when she took that off and they had the big shoulders, I was like, shut it down.
Yeah.
I thought it was the best she's looked. And I will say this. I know you don't like Ella's anything about it. I think it's the best Ella's looked on the runway. It's been my favorite look of hers on the runway. I think compared to everything else she's presented, proportionally, other than the wig, I thought she looked good. And I also think this is the best
I love it.
has looked.
Love it.
It was just Real bitch realness, Chucky Chuck says. I love it head to toe. Yeah, agreed. Just thank you, Scarlett. It was everything.
Yeah. To me, that looks expensive.
Yeah.
How dare Michelle call Primark?
I know, right? Yeah, I caught that too. I wasn't expecting that from Scarlett, but she served, Caesar says. See what happens? These things go scrolling so fast. I can't get on them. Okay, wasn't expecting that from Scarlett, but she served, is what Caesar says. Literal Truth says, loved it too. She was such, she had such great proportions, those shoulder pads, all caps. Thank you, Literal Truth. Yeah, I agree. Everything. We all agree on that one. Hey, we all finally agree on something.
We all agree.
This might be a miracle of miracles here on Drag Race TV LA. All right, let's move on to the next is Miss Kitty Scott Claus.
Loved this too. See, that's how you do a youthful fun updo, though.
Yeah, like a little sloppy updo. Yeah, I agree. I think that on Ella would have been awesome too.
That's what I mean. Just like fun.
Yeah, I think, and I will say this again. Okay, I think it's the best Ella's looked. I think it's the best Scarlett's looked, and I think this is the best Kitty's looked on the runway.
No, I think Kitty looks better in the Emma Bunton.
See, I don't know. I think her proportions in this one are spot on. I think she needs to always have, and it doesn't have to be an updo, but she just has to have volume up here to proportionize herself. I just couldn't take my eyes off of Kitty. I thought she looked absolutely stunning.
Absolutely.
Kitty doesn't get enough credit for her makeup. She looks beautiful. Girl can paint. I agree, Georgina. I agree with that 1,000% as well. I think she does. I think she looks absolutely beautiful.
I always think the big girls paint better.
Yeah, right?
We've got more canvas.
I love that. I love that. All right, next up is Miss Theresa May. She did the gold fringe, gold hat, red boots, red lips, black hair. Thoughts?
It's not worth a thought. Next.
Yeah. It's definitely not. It didn't. I get what she was going for because she did explain it.
I'm glad someone.
Yeah.
Yahoo! Yeah. Thank you. Next.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I love Theresa, but I didn't. I mean, it's first of all, it's not bad. I'm not going to say it's bad because it's not bad.
Expensive?
No, but I get what she was going for with the gold rush and stuff like that. Like I get like her spin on it, but no, it wasn't the most expensive. I think she looked more expensive as Ginger Spice, to be honest with you.
A wise woman once said, if you have to explain the reference, then you really didn't sell the point.
Yeah, that's true. Chucky Chuck says she was a rich Texas madam. I can definitely see. I mean, I think in some parts of the world that would be like she would walk in and you'd be like, "Oh, who's that rich bitch?" You know what I mean? Like I can see that.
Old LeMay you can buy from Spotlight.
Yeah, yeah. Who said this? Georgina. Lucky Theresa had a great personality. Ha ha ha.
Absolutely.
It's definitely fabric that's on her body. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Good point. All right. Next up is Miss Crystal Versace. Let me grab her photo real quick. Thoughts on Crystal Versace's Xpenny Henny look?
The photo is amazing with the wind blowing through the lovely, weave.
Mm-hmm. I thought the same thing.
I've seen this just too, whatever. I'm bored.
Yeah. I felt like of everybody in that cast, I had the highest expectations for her because her drag tends to be so I thought, wow, if she's going to do Xpenny, it's going to be up here. And she came out and I was like, really, girl?
And this is what I mean when I was saying, she could have easily lent that to charity in the last episode.
Yeah.
And would have
looked something else for this. Right. Exactly.
It's another but it's stoned, literal truth. It's stoned. I needed to be stoned to look at it.
Yeah. Georgina says, Crystal looked cheap. Sorry. Very pretty little thing. And
Oh,
boo-hoo, like Michelle said. Yeah.
it's very boo-hoo.
Looks similar to what she wore in the girl group challenge. It is very similar. It was a bodysuit that was just different kind of had mirrors on it.
Do you know what? The mirror bodysuit looks more expensive than this one.
Yeah, I agree too. She looked way more expensive on previous episodes. I agree, Caesar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's been her whole shtick the whole season, how expensive she is. And I think that's what the judges were saying when they're like, well, I expected more.
Yeah, totally. All right, next up is my favorite, River Medway.
Wasn't
in
this
her authentic Filipino, right? She's Filipino. Is that what she said?
No, Singapore.
Oh, Singapore. Okay. She just looked stunning. She looked absolutely beautiful.
Royalty.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I just, again, I think she's getting a bad rap. I mean, every one of those queens, if in the beginning of next week's episode, they don't go in the workroom and all praise how gorgeous she looked and how put together she looked and how well she did in the challenge, I'm done with them because she deserves some praise. Chucky Chuck says he gasped when she came on stage. I was not expecting this at all. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't even, it was just, okay, that's the other one. All right, next up is Charity Case on the runway. Charity 2, here it is. She did her little like fairy, her like minx fairy, or what do you call it? Fairy?
Elf? Tree?
Elf
I thought it was tree elf.
Yeah. Silence is golden.
I love this. In a photo shoot in the forest, it would be magnificent. For Dragula, it would be magnificent. For the greatest show on earth, Halloween Spectacular Bombastic, it would be phenomenal. For Drag Race, this is not the tea.
I mean, gorgeous. Like the shoes, the corset.
But where's the drag?
It's again, and I think I do think and again, I have nothing against tattoos. I don't want to say that I don't like people with tattoos. I just think that she always looks very cluttered because it's the nails and the corset and the wings and the big shoes and the horns. Don't forget the horns. And then we're going to add a nose and we're going to do eyes and and I'm like, girl, like I agree. I don't say this often, but I agree with Michelle. Had she just taken the horns off, wore some beautiful hair, a perfect face, no nails, done. Stunning, gorgeous, could have even saved you from lip syncing. Like,
but she's happy to fall on her sword.
Yeah.
She really is. Like she truly is. I love a freak show. I love a dark carnival. I love burlesque. I love cabaret. Everything about I would go to her show. I would pay money to look at her and that aesthetic. I think it is stunning. Do I believe that look is right? No, it's cosplay.
Yeah.
That's and I don't like admitting that because I've always been team alternative.
Yeah. And I loved Sharon Needles. I loved, people that there've been people that I've really liked that
drag.
Yeah. It just that and Sharon also knew the balance. She knew when it was okay to give ookie spooky kooky, and she knew, okay, I've been doing ookie kooky spooky. I need to do some more pretty. I need to just keep shoving pretty or even campy down their throat for a little bit, and then I can come back to this. And again, when you're not on Drag Race, do kooky ookie spooky everywhere you go, girl. I don't care. But when you're on Drag Race, you need to mix it up. You need to show different aspects of your drag. And I think Michelle even said is, how did she phrase it? She said, I want, show us all you can do, not just one thing you can do, something along those lines. And I was
that being said, I've watched a lot of interviews with her this week, and she brings up an amazing point. It's all good and well to tell me I need to be versatile, but when have you ever told these other girls to step out of their comfort zone?
Well, I agree. I agree.
So
But
there
they
is
have said it to. They have said it to Crystal. They have said it to Vanity. Who else?
but it's not judged as harshly.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I
So,
agree.
and to be honest, if there's one thing that Charity has given over anyone else in the competition, it is versatility. And I actually went back and looked at all of her runways today. She's done something. She did glamour when she did that the koi dress, when she did the red carpet in the orange. She did the pretty face. What are you like? What?
Little Truth is killing me. Okay, for those of you who aren't watching the chat or watching this later, Little Treat says, Mark is now writing to every charity he has ever given money to and asking for it back. That's how much he hates charity. Oh, Little Truth, thank you for always making me laugh. I really appreciate it. But Magenta, we go through this every season. There's always one queen who just isn't judged like the others and is told to change who she is. Yep, Chucky Chuck. That's Chucky Chuck. Yeah, we do. We do talk about it every
doesn't mean we should. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Look, I love like she's a huge deal over this side of the world. Like she's huge.
And now on this side.
And now she's known over there as well. I think a lot of people expected her to be on Dragula before that. I think she expected to be on Dragula before she ever got the call for RuPaul's Drag Race. But hey, hasn't she brought up some wonderful conversations? She's created a great storyline. She's created a brilliant dialogue regarding you equals you. She's opened up so many doors. I just don't think this looks drag. There we go. Next.
Yeah. And last but not least is Miss Vanity Milan.
Where's this girl been the whole competition?
I agree. I thought the wig looked beautiful. I thought her makeup was better. I thought that even though it was just a jumpsuit like Kitty, I think of the three, because we got three, Kitty, Vanity, and Crystal. I think Kitty and Vanity did it well, and I think Crystal Crystal's just looked very off the rack for a jumpsuit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she just bought a sheer rhinestone leotard and put it on. Like, you can tell that Vanity put work into this. You can tell that Kitty put work into hers. And Crystal,
you can tell Vanity borrowed this off someone.
Yeah.
No one that's only been doing drag a year has the funds to make that. She's got a drag mummy up there that said, "Here you go, Tal."
Yeah, right. But then again, we all have watched Drag Race, and whether we like it or not, we know that it is expected from the queens to turn looks and beauty.
Yeah. And Sharon won, and Nina Flowers came second in her season. Like the queens in America, they do well. Yeah. They always do generally well. It's just the judging style of Ru on UK girls is disproportionate to what we offer over this side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And now this side of the world is losing a lot of what makes us special in drag for flavor of a drag, the Drag Race aesthetic in hopes to become a Ru girl. But the reason season 1 and season 2 was so amazing is that it wasn't like America.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like that's why I always like the first couple seasons, is because they're authentic, true drag who aren't. I mean, it's getting harder now because RuPaul's Drag Race has been around for so long. So any young queens, that's how they know drag.
I believe.
That being said, I think.
Done.
No, I think that's why the first couple of seasons are always the best, is because it's not, you're kind of, there's not another UK season to compare to, or there's only one other season of UK to compare to. It's going to get to a point where now there's going to be 7 UK seasons to be compared to. So it's just, you know, but again, and I say this all the time, the ones that stand out to me are authentic, are themselves, are not putting on, are not, you know, trying to show off and all that stuff. So go ahead. What were you going to say?
I believe losing Victoria Scone so early in the competition because of the knee has really, really, really put a dampen on what this season could have been. Because all the challenges, I think, her flavor there would have brought something that the season needed, and they've really had to recalibrate production-wise how we're going to manipulate the show from here.
Yeah.
But,
little truth, Chucky Chuck is saying the same thing too, is it seems kind of sadistic to cast someone like Charity in the first place if they're going to, tell them to change their drag. If they don't want that kind of drag, then don't cast Charity.
But they need it. They need it for the discourse. They need it for the Emmys. They need it for the representation. Like you have fair play to Charity for even auditioning, knowing that she'd go through the scrutiny.
Yeah.
And she knew, like she knew she would be misunderstood.
Yeah.
But she's now got a platform that you cannot pay to get. She now has a worldwide stage that she wouldn't have had any other way. So sometimes it's not, it is sadistic and they do get put through shit, but you got to know and outweigh your risks of
well, again, my thing is, why are you doing the show? And I say this all the time. Are you doing the show to be famous, or are you doing the show to win?
Well, who doesn't want their booking fee increased? It's not necessarily about the fame, but
again, and I get that, but I also do know very hardworking drag queens who make a lot of money and have been and are very successful and have not been on Drag Race. So I just like I feel like it's kind of like everything. Everybody wants the easy out. So people are like, they now know that they can be mediocre and be like Candy Muse and make it to the finals. And so why even try? Why try to do this? Why try to do that when I can be mediocre? If you truly love, and this, I was co-hosting a amateur drag contest on Wednesday, and I was downstairs with all these new queens, and I was like, ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you want to do drag, or are you doing this because you want to be famous? Because those are two different roads that you need to be going down. There are two different things that you need to focus on. So if you want to do drag, focus on the drag. Focus on what you want to do, how you want to do it, and just do it. If you want to be famous, then start planning your runways, start figuring how you would do things, start taking classes to do good in improv, start taking singing lessons, start taking sewing lessons.
Start up OnlyFans and screw someone famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Work for the Kardashians.
Little truth. Candy Muse, the only queen Mark hates more than Charity.
Incorrect.
That is not true. That is
Art
not
Simone.
True. Yeah. Art Simone's up there for sure. So back to the challenge. There were no winners, all losers. I mean, I agree with whoever said it in the
It was done for shock value.
Yeah.
They could have easily given that win to Kitty.
Well, I think whoever said it in the chat room was right that I don't think it was any worse than any other marketing challenge in the past. But I do think, in my opinion, again, this because it doesn't fit the narrative of how they wanted to go, I personally would have said, River Medway, please step forward. River Medway, you are the only winner of this week because your runway's amazing and you nailed the challenge better than anybody else. You are getting a Root Peter badge. You can go to the back of the stage. Everyone else is up for elimination. That's literally what should have been said. When it was all said and done, River was the only one who did well, and her runway was also kick-ass. She should have won. I also thought Kitty did well too, but
I thought Kitty did really well. She was the one on the toilet there. Like she brought a gag, she brought a joke. I can't remember what Kitty did in the what River did in the challenge, but I remember what Kitty did in the challenge.
River was the voice of Draglexa, which the other team should have just had one voice for Draglexa. So she was the voice of it, but then she also was at the very end. And Alan did say, I just wanted more of you. But again, to me, that's a testament of how well you did because we wanted more.
Yeah.
So,
well, then in that case, I would have said, Kitty, River, look, because of your runways and because you were the only two that kind of did anything worthwhile in this entire episode, we're going to make you do what we did in the first episode and you can lip sync for the win.
Yeah. I would have been okay with that too. I would have been okay.
You know?
They also did the dreaded, who do you think should go home? I did write it down. I'll read through them. Ella said Charity. Scarlett said Charity. Kitty said Vanity. And Choriza, Crystal, River, Charity, and Vanity all said Scarlett.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think should have gone home?
This, based on where we are in the competition at this very moment, if I was on that stage, I probably would have said, Ella, to be honest. But I don't know what they're seeing back there. I'm only going by what we've seen. But Ella's the only one that hasn't popped, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Gosh, looking at everybody who's up there.
RuPaul.
I honestly would probably have gone with what Kitty said, just based on track record, Vanity, because she has been in the bottom or just safe.
But I don't think she's been in the bottom. That's the thing. I think she's been placed in the bottom, but didn't deserve to be in the bottom.
Right.
I think Vanity. I don't think she's deserved her bottom placements. Maybe one of them. Maybe the second episode with the bikes, because her wigs were that bad. Maybe on that episode she kind of deserved it, but
I mean, I guess it would just depend on whether you want to base it on overall or on that week. Because I do think Charity was one of the weakest this week. I thought Scarlett's runway, we all agreed, was killer. And I honestly didn't hate Scarlett in the challenge. I didn't think she was bad. I just didn't like how they did and I guess she's in the bottom because she was the captain and kind of coordinated and stuff. So I guess I do understand that. But I don't know. It's a tough one.
She was in the bottom because it was her emotional porn episode.
Yeah.
It was her traumatic porno that, she had already been there with her breakdown about her mum. That's all it was. It was literally just production going, okay, so this is her trauma episode, so let's make her lip sync. Because we had them both last week, we'll make them battle it out again. They had no other option because no one was good enough or bad enough to win or lose. Yeah. That they just literally went, right, well, they were the bottom two from last week. Carry on.
I will say this, and I've said this before. When I'm creating these outlines and I have to type in all the girls' names, the two that I forget about the most, where I'm who am I forgetting, are Ella and Vanity.
Yeah.
Those are just the two names that just aren't sticking in my head. Yeah. That there's nothing really memorable about either of them. So I'm going to stick with what I said and say Vanity, only because Ella technically hasn't been in the bottom. I would say I'm going to stick with them.
She was only in the top by default last week.
Yeah.
She didn't contribute.
March. Okay, Little Truth. Now you're getting out of control.
Oh, no, the Little Truth, the one I love the most here was don't do toilet jokes. Also, RuPaul provides a prop toilet. Don't forget, 2 whole seasons was there fucking promoting the squatty potty.
Right, exactly.
What was it, season 9? Oh, here you go. Here's a present. Squatty potty. They were all about the shit humor back in season 8 and season 9.
Yeah. Chucky Sucks says Ella and Vanity are not showcasing the best of their drag. Yeah, that's very possible. I don't know either of them outside of this. So a rematch made senses in the producer's fantasy.
It did. Realistically, that was the only where else could they have gone? Yeah. If you're gonna say there's absolutely no winner, that just means everyone was shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. But
So
that would have been avoided had they just sent Scarlett home last week.
Yeah. So it ended up being Charity and Scarlett in the bottom two. No winner. They lip synced to Big Spender by Shirley Bassey.
And Scarlett deserved
and did
it.
you think Scarlett was better?
Oh, hands down. Hands down.
Okay.
Yeah. That just like she had the cane, she had the look, everything was just manufactured in that look with that song.
Yeah.
And to be fair, she did a great lip sync.
Yeah, I agree.
And I didn't think she would to that song.
Yeah.
I didn't think she had that on in her.
Yeah. No, she did. She did a great job. Chuck and Chuck, do you think this lip sync was better than last week's?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I really like Ella, but that might be mostly because I would
quite like
sex time with him.
Yeah.
Little truth. All right. Yeah.
That's what makes a good drag queen.
Right.
That's what makes a good Craigslist ad.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, Miss Charity Case had to sashay away.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Mark will start giving to charity again.
Right, and now I can start giving to charity again. Right.
It's not the Salvation Army.
Yes. So the mirror moment this week was Scarlett. Actually, she was discussing her mother's health issues and how much she used to fight with her mother, and like now how much she's regretting, doing that, and all the stuff. Oh, Dylan, you said something in the chat, and I didn't comment on it because I was something I was going to bring up later. Oh, Dylan, sorry, I don't remember what it was now. There was something you wrote. Oh gosh, I can't remember what it was now. Sorry, that just distracted. I saw his name and I was like, oh wait, he said something. I was going to talk about it, but it was later in the outline. Maybe I did talk about it, so I apologize. Anyway, it was a you kind of got to see a little more vulnerable Scarlett, because I don't think we've seen that really from her. She's kind of a little bit more of a tough cookie. No, not mental health. It was more she has the COPD thing, so I don't think it's a mental health thing with her mother. Chucky Chuck's asking in the chat.
All we know is that the mum's not well, and we shouldn't be prying any more into that sort of stuff because it's actually quite personal, and I'm sure that the mother didn't ask it all to be discussed.
Yes, Dylan. Yes, you were saying that because I was yes. He said earlier that River should have won the challenge. Yes, that is what Dylan said earlier, and that's why I didn't say it, because I knew I was going to bring it up later. Thank you, Dylan. Yes, that is what you said that I wanted to make sure I talked about. So, all right, my quote of the week goes to our favorite Miss Theresa May, who says, "I do have a very big penis. Yeah, that is why I named myself after a Spanish sauce."
Shall I put it up my bum?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up my bum. Oh my gosh, I just can't with her. She's like my literal truth on TV.
You need her to make it until the penultimate episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I need her there till the end. Let's face it, she's not going to win.
Yeah,
as much as I'd love her to win.
I mean, I would love Teresa, River, Kitty, final. I would love those three in the final. I mean, and I like Scarlett. I would love to see like a turnaround for Scarlett, but I don't think that's going to happen. But
no, come on, this season has been. If it wasn't for Teresa, and if it wasn't for Kitty, and if it wasn't for the other one you just
yeah.
Teresa, Kitty, who was the other one?
Teresa, Kitty, River.
Yeah. Like they're the top three.
Yeah, hands down.
So we know they're not going to make it to top three. But
exactly. My fans of the week this week are Natasha Niles, Homeboys, and Mike Perez, who all became subscribers to our channel. So thanks all so much. A little bit of news and gossip, just as a reminder. Painted with Emmy award-winning makeup artist Raven will be premiering in November. So keep an eye on Wow Presents Plus. So make sure you keep an eye for that. Are you watching Canada's Drag Race?
I am.
What do you think so far of Canada's Drag Race?
I'm really enjoying it.
Okay.
Everyone was going on about
how the chat said that they were really. I forgot it was earlier when we started talking, they said they really enjoyed it too. What do you like about it?
Jesus, their musical was one of the best musicals they've ever had.
Well, some parts were really good and some parts were really bad. I think it was the two extremes.
The good parts outweighed the bad parts.
Yeah.
In whole. And it started off great and it ended great.
I will also say,
of course, you hate it, Chuck. Where's the love, Chuck? Where's the love?
Right. Well, I don't know that I love it. I don't know. There's something about Canada for me, and again, it may be because they are actually using Canadian judges, and I'm looking at it from an American perspective. But in my opinion, when Beth was I thought Beth was going to be top 3 on the premiere episode. The fact that she was in the bottom and sent home, I was gobsmacked. I could not believe what I was seeing.
And then Oceana the next week, I'm like, my 2 favorites. God, you're just fat phobes, Canada. You're fat phobes.
I just like who's the one that came out in the tissue dress and she was safe? Oh, this is a whole different names yet. So now Mark also hates the nation. Oh, Literal Truth, you're too much for me today. You are too much. You're the reason I drink, Literal Truth. I just want you to know that. You're the reason I drink. So when I start dying because of liver shutdown, it's Literal Truth's fault. All right, I don't want to get into a recap of Drag Race Canada, but obviously people are watching, keep supporting it if you like it. And then I will tell you, those of you who did not see on my social media, part of the reason I was not here last week was because Monday I had to fly to Denver, Colorado for a big job interview. And on Wednesday, I was offered a conditional job offer for United Airlines as a flight attendant. So in November, I'm guessing I haven't gotten my dates yet. I will have to leave to go to Houston to start training for 6 weeks in Houston for United Flight Attendant. So very excited. It's something I've been working on for a while and going through a lot of drama and all this stuff. It actually started before lockdown and it's just been a mess. So that's my big news.
She's a trolley dolly.
She's gonna be a trolley dolly. And before I talk about what's happening next week on RuPaul's Drag Race, I do want to comment because I did see somebody talk about it in the chat. And I think I intentionally also did not put it in the outline because it was kind of like just more drama that I always hate sometimes talking about it. But they were talking about the drama in Untucked with Scarlett. Anything you want to say about that, Magenta? They had she didn't take being picked to be the one to go home very well, and she walked off the set and stuff.
Did I mention I'm very tired?
Yeah. Okay.
I felt for her. I did. She's just gone through the whole emotional trauma exposed about her mum, having that conversation in the workroom, and then getting the shit critiques, and then being told by everyone she's shit. Poor love just had a bit of a cry. Let her walk off and have a cry.
Yeah. Well, I take this back. I actually did have it in the outline. I just skipped over it accidentally, so I apologize. But the other thing I was going to say about that, because Vanity steps up and she says, well, look, if it was me, I would have just said, you know what? I don't care what they think. I only care what Ru says. Well, that's easy to say when you're not the one who 5 people picked and is coming after. So I think your opinion would be very different. I think if you would have said, I would hope.
It's also easy to say when you've only been doing the gig for a year, love.
Yeah.
If I'd only been doing the gig for a year, I'd expect to be told to go fuck home.
Yeah.
Scarlett actually got it. Like, Scarlett was a well-known name prior to getting on.
True. And Georgina's making a good point. It gave Scarlett the fire she needed to win the lip sync too. So it gave her
a storyline.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So next week on RuPaul's Drag Race, UK 3 will be everyone's favorite episode with the reading challenge and Snatch Game.
Yay!
That being said, Miss Magenta Fox, time for predictions.
Mm.
Who do you think will go home next week knowing that it's Snatch Game?
Knowing that it's Snatch Game and knowing that I always lose people I love during Snatch Game and just knowing the way that this production is going so far, it's probably going to be someone good. It's probably going to be a Teresa or a River or something, which would suck.
Don't say that. Don't even.
Oh, no, I can't, but call me the unicorn of death. I don't know.
If I'm literally just looking at the cast and going, who do I think will do well? I think Teresa will do well. I think River will do well. I think Kitty will do well.
The reason I don't see Teresa doing well is who's Teresa going to pick?
Well, I don't know. She may come up with something very unique and different too. So you just never know. I think she has it in her to do well. I would say Crystal should be worried. I would think Vanity should be worried. I don't know how Ella does impersonations. I don't know. I agree with you though. I think it's going to be someone we don't want, but I
wouldn't be surprised if this would be Ella's week.
Yeah,
because she'd be the unexpected one.
Yeah,
and she's
nervous for River.
Yeah, I'm nervous for River as well because I just.
Yeah, interesting to see what Crystal can do. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I'll say this: I've seen no leaks as to Snatch Game. Like Snatch Game is being kept.
Yeah.
Any of the leaks. So usually by now we'd have an idea. Like there'd be some sort of ramblings about who's going to do who, like what characters are going to be done. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any yet.
Me either.
All I know is that Charity Case was going to do the devil, and I'm pissed off we're not going to see that because that would have been awesome.
Well, I mean, I think that might have been her nail in the coffin, pun intended.
Possibly.
And it's a good point, Georgina. Lawrence Chaney was in the bottom for Snatch Game, and I did not see that coming. So,
and Lawrence was the one that could volley,
Yeah. So we'll see. We will see.
Of all people won last Snatch Game. Nobody thought Bimini was going to be the one to win Snatch Game.
Right. That's true. All right.
Area would win Snatch Game.
Yeah. True. Very
Snatch
true.
Game is always it's unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, we made it through. We made it through episodes 4 and 5. So is it next week? Hold on. Look at the calendar. Yeah, so next week is Halloween.
It is.
So we both cannot be here next week, correct? Right? So maybe what we'll do, so we don't have to do another double episode, maybe me and Magenta will discuss maybe a potential day change. Maybe we could do it a different day. Maybe on we'll see. Me and Magenta will discuss. So if we can't find another day, then we'll do another double episode the next week. Hopefully I'll be here through
What's gonna happen when you get?
I don't know when I'm gonna leave for training. So I'm praying that I get to see you guys through the end. But we'll work something out if I can't be here. But we'll just follow us. So watch our social media, DRTV LA, if you want to know what's going on for next week, because that's where we're going to post everything. Miss Magenta, where can they find you on the social medias?
Queen Magenta Fox or Fox Magenta.
And for me, you can find me on Instagram at the Mark J. Freeman, or when I'm cross-dressing at Lorayne Love, LORAYNE is hers. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love doing this with you. Other than Literal Truth, we love you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Yes.